Side Decorating Center. Good morning to you. Welcome to hour number 2 of the Art Lewis Show. It's open phones, 989-752-6111, whatever you'd like to chat about on this New Year's Day, New Year's Eve day, I should say. Do you stay up to watch the ball? Does New Year's mean much to you? And I ask that on purpose because I have to be honest, it's never meant a lot to me. When I was very young, in my teens, I traipsed downtown to Times Square in New York City and watched the ball drop. It was probably around 1956, I want to say, somewhere in there. But as far as New Year's go, to me, I have to be honest, it's just another day. You know, I look at certain holidays as special holidays that have real meaning behind them. You know, for this country, for example, July 4th, and independence and all of that. Some of the holidays that are based on religion, Christmas, Easter, obviously. These holidays, they have meaning. There's something behind them. What's behind New Year's? You flip the calendar page? See what I mean? I don't look at it as a substantial holiday, you know. It's more of a party atmosphere, party time, you know. Let's celebrate. We're going to change the calendar year. Okay. But it's never been one of my top priority holidays. Let's look at it that way. If I go to bed in 2025 and I wake up in 2026, I'm a happy camper. That's all there is. Let's go to the phones and talk to Linda in Frankentrost. Linda, good morning.
Good morning, Art. When I think about New Year's, I don't look at going forward, but I look at the accomplishments and the blessings from the past year and, you know, where I've come.
Yeah. As an individual.
Yes, as an individual. And my husband and I always had a couple friends over on New Year's Eve, and even after he passed, I've kept that tradition, but we always toast those that are gone.
Yeah, well, it's interesting because I'm in the same situation with my wife passing 3 years ago. I'm going out tonight with some friends, but we're going out to dinner, and I'll be home long before the ball drops. And last year, for example, I think last year I went to bed at 10 o'clock, and for some reason I woke up about 10 to 12, you know, just spontaneously. So I figured, well, it's this close, I'll turn it on just to see what's going on in Times Square. I watched the ball drop, and I was asleep in 5 minutes after that. So, you know,
Yeah, I was going to say, usually we get together with supper at about 5 o'clock, and some people don't make it till midnight, and others say Happy New Year, and then they leave. But we, like I said, we look at where we've come over the past year.
Well, and I appreciate that, and I do something similar because I'll look at where I've been the past year and family and how everybody's doing and how I'm doing. But then I also say, okay, what would I like to see changed in 2026? Now, again, I don't make resolutions because I just don't keep them. The only resolution I've ever kept is not to make any more resolutions, and I've kept that one for a long time. But I do, you know, look back and ahead because, you know, you learn from your past. You may want to celebrate some of the things in the past. You may want to forget some of the things in the past and change them. And so that's the way I view it. You know, I just look at it as a learning experience each and every time.
Very much so. Going forward one day at a time.
Yep. 1 foot in front of the other, as they used to say.
Well, Happy New Year, Art.
Linda, same to you, and thanks for calling.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye now. 989-752-6111. It is, you know, I always appreciate the fact that New Year's is New Year's Day. And New Year's Day is New Year's Day. You know, you can't make a 3-day holiday out of that. Can't move it to a Monday holiday because the date's the date. I am not a fan of Monday holidays. Let me correct that. I'm not a fan of artificial Monday holidays. By that I mean dates that should be celebrated are now Monday holidays. And I'll give you an example, and this has to do with history and how we teach history. I am not a fan of Lincoln's birthday and Washington's birthday being President's Day, so we have a Monday holiday. I want Lincoln's birthday, February 12th, to be remembered because that's how we learn about President Lincoln. I want Washington's birthday on the 22nd to be remembered so we can learn about Washington. I'm not sure we do that anymore. And that worries me. If we lose sight of our history because we're more interested in having a holiday off, I worry about that. But that's me. I'm sure there's a lot of people that disagree. They enjoy those Monday holidays. They need that time off, and so be it. I just want to figure a way to keep the history we're setting aside alive and well so we don't forget what we're supposed to be celebrating. Same thing on Memorial Day. You know, gateway to the summer, and have we lost sight of what it's all about? Have we lost sight of the fact that we're supposed to be recognizing those who made the ultimate sacrifice for our country? I mean, if it's all about a Monday holiday rather than what the day is supposed to be, that's not a good thing. Not in my book, anyway. But who am I? I'm just one person with an opinion. And that is something to be celebrated. The fact that in this country, we can sit here talking to each other, you listening, which I appreciate, each and every one of you, and we can converse about almost anything we want to converse about, and nobody's going to come running in and pull the switch because they didn't want you to talk about that. We have many, many blessings in this country given to us by our founding fathers, who were wise beyond their years, to say the least. And that's worth celebrating. I think July 4th is going to be a very, very special time this year as we get ready, starting tomorrow, to kick off the 250th year of the birth of this nation and the Declaration of Independence and the formation of this country. That's a lot to celebrate. And heaven knows it was an enormous experiment that has, I think, in many ways overachieved, even from what the Founding Fathers envisioned. And we get to enjoy it each and every day as citizens of this great country. All right, we're going to take a pause. Lines open, 989-752-6111.
Gotta go.
I get to talk to one of the most positive people I have ever known in my life. I call him a friend, and he is Paul in Midland. Hello there.
Super deluxe and wonderful morning, Art Lewis. How are you this wonderful morning?
I'm wonderful, as wonderful as you are.
Hey, I was just loving listening to your program this morning, and I wanted to share some wisdom that I acquired while watching Kung Fu Panda 3 recently.
Wait. You, one of the smartest men I know, get your wisdom from Kung Fu Panda 3?
You have to understand, when you're a noticer and a very curious person, wisdom can come from anywhere.
That's true.
And yes, Kung Fu Panda 3 supplied me with some when one character said to the other, all you're doing is worrying about the past, which has already occurred, and worrying about the future that is only a prediction. He said, your focus should be on the current day. And the current day is a gift. That's why they call it the present.
Oh, well, that's good. The one part of it I would disagree with, I don't believe you can disregard the past, because even though it's past, it's how you learn for the future.
Well, I should have added that he said the past is history, the future a mystery.
Okay, yeah, all right. I'll go that way.
Today is a gift. That's why they call it the present.
I like that. I like
Yeah,
that.
so, it's certainly a reflective time of year, and I just wrote an article recently about resolutions, and I said, forget about it.
Yeah.
And I said, there's 364 other good days to begin something that will improve your life. So
Yeah.
it doesn't have to be on January 1st.
No, it shouldn't be just one day. Obviously.
So anyways, I'm certainly being inspired by your callers calling in and sharing some of their thoughts about today and the end of the year and the beginning of the new year. And I agree with all of them.
Well, we're all inspired by you too, Paul. So to you and your wonderful bride, Kim, may you have, and your family, may you have a blessed new year in 2026. And may every day bring you joy and happiness.
Yeah, and it will. Every day I listen to you. Take care, my good
All right,
friend.
my
and
friend.
Happy New Year.
Same to you. We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye now.
Yep. Take care, Art.
And we continue on now. We'll talk to Dee in Frankenmuth. Dee, good morning.
Good morning, Art. How are you?
I am fine. Hope you are.
Good. Thank you. I would just like to talk about what the few callers back talked about with phones and people in restaurants.
Yeah.
I was in a grocery store yesterday, and there was a young woman in front of me talking on her phone, waiting in line to check out. She continued to talk, and she talked through buying her items that she had and just went on talking and talking and didn't bother to stop. And I thought that was really rude of her.
Yep.
And besides, who wants to listen or hear her conversation?
Well,
It's just,
that's the other thing. That's very, very true. It's very annoying to have to listen to other people's conversations.
Right. I think it's just, I had not seen anyone ever do that.
Oh, I
This is
have.
the first time.
I have.
You?
Oh, yeah. And I always, and the first thought that came to my mind when I stood behind somebody doing that was how disrespectful they were to the person serving them
Yes.
by packing their
Yes.
groceries, ringing up their groceries. They have a hard enough job. They don't deserve to be
Right.
ignored.
Right. And I said that to the cashier. I says, she was very rude to do that. She says, well, that's just the way young people are nowadays.
Yeah, she's probably seen it all.
I'm sure she has. And the other thing, too, in the restaurants, it just really irritates me when the whole family is on their phones. And it was, we were in a restaurant, and there was the grandparents with their grandkids, and they were all on phones. Their lips weren't moving. Their fingers were, but their lips weren't
right,
moving.
exactly. And they don't talk to each other. I mean,
No.
you go out
It's
for a
sad, it
family
really
event.
is.
You go out for a family event. You might as well all be in separate rooms. It makes no sense. I just, I of course, I'm old, and I'm old-fashioned.
Well, so am I. I'm old-fashioned.
My time with my family when my mom and dad said we're going out to dinner, that meant we were going out to dinner and nothing else is going to be on your mind because we're all going to be at the table together talking. The other thing we did was my dad was maybe OCD a little bit on this, but we had dinner at 6 o'clock every night. Dad got home about 5:45. By 6 o'clock, dinner was on the table. And I was an only child, so the focus was always on me, unfortunately. But we all sat at the table talking about the day. What did we do?
Yeah.
What's ahead? And we conversed.
Right.
And I was not allowed to leave the table until my dad was finished. And my dad was the slowest eater in the world.
Of course.
But
Yeah,
you know, I
true,
learned a
yeah.
lot of lessons, and it made me who I am today. So
I'm sure. And then another thing too, my grandchildren, they were not allowed, and of course they're not all 16. There's a couple of them that are over 16, but they were not allowed to have a cell phone until they went to high school.
Oh, good.
Or two.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I thought, once they start high school, and it's like you need one. You can't be without one in high school because a lot of activities and things, programs and stuff go
Yep.
through your
Yep.
phone.
Yeah.
So,
Become so dependent on them.
yeah, exactly. But anyway, I
Yeah.
just wanted to
Well,
put my 2 cents in.
have a happy New Year.
You as well, Arden. Thank you. I love your program.
Thanks,
It's
Dee.
very
Thanks.
informative.
Thanks for calling. I appreciate it. Have a
You're
good
welcome.
one.
Thank you.
Bye-bye
Take
now.
care.
Yep.
Bye-bye.
And now we'll go to Reese. And in Reese, we find Bob this morning. Bob, good morning.
Good morning, Art. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Yeah, I was just calling to, the other day I called and you really covered up everything that I was wanting to talk about, so I will try it again. And now I'm quite sure that the Georgia Election Board has actually verified that there were at least 315,000 votes that were improperly tallied. And if they had been, President Trump would have won that state. I also saw recently that Wisconsin, I think last summer or maybe even a year or two ago, they found 215,000 ballots that were wrong. And so it's pretty obvious what happened in 2020. The thing I want to say is mistakes were not made. This stuff was done intentionally.
How do you know that?
And well, it was repetitive in all 8 of the swing states. Anyway, elections do have consequences, and I talked to you a while back about a testimony and I found out it came up on my phone again. Just look up Sergeant Tyler Vargas Andrews congressional testimony, and you will hear the testimony of an eyewitness soldier who was there when the blast went off in Kabul. And I assume he's one of the 38 that survived.
Yeah, well, obviously he survived. Yeah.
So,
listen, that's fine. You learn from
it's
history.
not fine.
No,
Those people
no.
lost their
Let me
lives,
finish. Now
Art.
you're going to let me finish,
That's
Bob.
not fine.
My turn, Bob. It's my turn, Bob.
It's not fine.
It's my
when people
turn,
lose
Bob.
Their lives.
I'm not talking about Kabul. I'm talking about the elections. You know, it's great they discovered those things, so we learn from history, and hopefully we fix them in the future.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't live in the past. You can't change it. You can only learn from it.
But unless people are held accountable, it's going to continue.
Well, good luck with that. You know I'm right.
I know you're right. That's why our young people are so disinterested, and their phones are more important than doing the right thing, because the adults that are running the place don't do the right thing.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
a lot of it.
Let's hope for a good 2026. Midterm elections will
Anyway-
be coming up. Hopefully they'll go the way they're supposed to.
I do want to say yet before I leave, sorry for getting mad, but
I don't care.
it's not fine what they did to those reservists.
No, that's Kabul, and
13
I would agree
families.
with you there. And I wasn't talking about Kabul when I said that. I should have been more
Okay,
specific.
all right. Yeah, okay.
No, that was
Anyway,
a boondoggle.
that was Yeah, that was terrible.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Happy New Year.
It's Sergeant Tyler Vargas Andrews.
Okay.
Congressional testimony.
Good
Okay.
enough. Thanks.
And then if anybody needs a reason to not vote for Democrats, our Attorney General is suing RFK for cutting off the funding to cut off the genitals of our young people.
Yeah. All right. Bob, have a Happy New Year.
Yeah.
Okay.
You too.
Take care. Bye-bye now. We'll take a break, come back, and we'll get to more calls right after these notes on the Art Lewis Show.
Menards is the ultimate.
And ready to continue on. We got them locked and loaded here. Mike is in Thomas Township. Mike, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Art. I hope you have a nice, happy New Year.
Same to you.
And I was calling in because you were talking about cell phones earlier, and I had a business, and I just wasn't into cell phones. And I remember one day my son worked for me, and he came up and he says, "Here," he says, "you got a business. You're a businessman. You need a cell phone." So I ended up having a cell phone. I still have a flip phone. I don't like those big fancy ones. I can't use them. Wouldn't know how to use them, and so. But the flip phone's fine. But anyway, I hope you have a nice, Happy New Year, and I hope you had a good Christmas. And
hope 2026 is good for you, too.
Well, I hope it is, too. And I hope that the whole world settles down a little bit and we don't have all this conflict and, try to get along a little bit, and compromise. I mean, I'm old. In 2 months, I'll be 86 years old. So, I'm
right behind you.
Yeah, I know, but I appreciate it. But I also remember back when things were different, and I mean things always change. You can't do anything about that.
That's right.
But I when people reported the news, not tried to make the news, the politicians were. I mean, they've always been politicians, and there's always been some of them that had their own.
Well, the difference is how we get it now and how much we get and how we're hit over the head with it and how biased it is. It's changed. It's different.
Yeah.
So, all right.
That bothers me, though, that biasness. I mean, your people calling in, there's so much, golly, I don't want to say hatred, but, bad feelings between people, and I just don't like that.
All right,
anyway,
Mike.
Have a great one, my
friend.
Have
a happy.
Take care.
Take care. Bye-bye now.
You too. Bye now.
And in Bay City, we find Sean this morning. Good morning, Sean.
Hey, what's happening, Art?
Hey, you are, man. What's up?
I don't know. It's been a while since I've been happening, decades even. Hey, just kind of wanted to call, and I hear all the callers and stuff kind of giving wrap-ups of the year and things like that, and kind of wanted to go over a few things here that I talked to you about, and you told me no. And son of a gun, yes. I talked to you about fake news and Operation Mockingbird. That has definitely proven out to be true. I told you about election voting issues. It shouldn't be a Democrat or Republican thing, but it's painfully obvious if you do your research. It's painfully obvious. Elections, we got issues. We got major issues. I told you the COVID vax had issues. No. Yeah, it does. So you got that going for you.
Some say yes, some say no. So
it's getting a black warning label on the box, so it's not some yes and some no. That's not the truth. Yep, all right. That's not me. That's
it's the current health secretary.
That's right. And then you got the Muslim invasion I told you about. Just like France isn't full of Frenchmen anymore, it's full of Muslim people that hate you and they hate me. And they're not here to assimilate.
Well, that's where I'm going to stop you. I'm going to stop you there because Muslim people don't come here hating you. There is a radical. There is a radical faction of Islam that does. But the average Muslim who comes to this country is no different than you or me. I know many of them, and some of them are very good friends of mine.
Right, but their religion teaches something that. Do your research. Right? That's all I'm going to tell you. And it's not just Muslims.
We'll leave it there.
Right. It's not just that. It's other people that come to this country and have no desire. They want to take from us. They want to use our system against us.
Oh, I'm not disagreeing with that. That's true. There are people coming here.
I told you that was happening, and you said no. And then EBT, the reason your groceries cost more is because the government buys them all. That's a fact. Illegals do vote, and they do get all the goodies here. We got a gas tax coming up. I just read that. Well, that's only going to go up a penny, even though that doesn't make sense to me either.
Well, let me explain it to you then. Let me explain that to you. Yeah, it's going to go up 21.4 cents. The gas tax is going to go up to 52.4, I think it is. But what's coming off, and you didn't mention, is the fact that the
6%.
sales tax comes off. So
Right.
the gas
But here's
tax
what
on
I'm trying to
average
tell
will
you.
go up. They're saying it'll go up about 1.4 cents a gallon.
Yeah, I'm sure. I'll hold my breath on
Me
that
too.
one. Yeah, I'm
Me
sure.
too, but I'm just telling you what they're saying.
Right, and I guess the point I'm trying to make, and it kind of comes back to the lady talking about people talking on their phones in the aisles and stuff like that. All of these things come back to one thing: morals. They come back to backbone. If we as a country do not understand that there are morals and there are right ways and wrong ways, and that what your creator gave you, right? If you don't understand that, how can you defend them? And that's the problem. It all comes down to morals.
I'm
going
going to agree with you. We're going to end on a total agreement.
Awesome.
All right.
All
Have a happy New Year.
You too, Art.
All right,
I'm hoping
Sean.
for progress over technology.
Yeah, good luck.
Yeah, I know, right? It'd be great to have some progress.
It would. All right. Good enough. Thanks. Take care, Sean. Bye-bye now.
You too, Art.
All right. Terry, hang on. We'll get to you next right after these notes. Yeah.
And I just wanted to relate a story that I think demonstrates a lot and let everybody decide what it means to them. But I grew up here in Bay City, and my parents grew up in a small town in northern Michigan. And they have a weekly newspaper up there that my parents always subscribe to. And it's printed like on Wednesday. People who are local up there get their newspaper in their mailbox on Thursday. Mm-hmm. And this is over 55 years ago that I can remember, we would get it on Friday in our mailbox, which is fine. It took a day to get here. And so this year I started subscribing to it again. And I got it for my daughter as well. She lives in the Detroit area. And we started getting our newspapers a couple weeks after it was printed. And so through the month of December, I hadn't gotten any issues. And so on Monday, the 29th of December, I went out to my mailbox and I received my first issue for the month. And I opened it up, and the front headline said, "Happy Thanksgiving." So it took what used to take a day, takes a month now to receive that. Now, I mean, this is the problem. There's no reason for the U.S. Postal Service to try and get better, apparently.
Well, I think what they're trying to do, on the one hand, it's a darned if you do, darned if you don't thing. On the one hand, they're trying to build in efficiencies to control their costs. And on the other hand, every time they do that, they slow the service. I used priority mail to send something to Detroit to my son a couple of weeks ago. And it used to be you did priority mail to Detroit, it was there overnight. You sent a letter, it was there overnight. I gave it to him on a Thursday. He said, "Oh, yeah, it'll be there Monday." I said, "What?" "Yeah, that's the service." Okay.
Well, in the U.S. Postal Service defense, I used to have to send, for work, I used to have to send it out, priority mail out to Pittsburgh, and it was 2-day or something. And it always got there in 2 days.
Oh, yeah.
It was great. And it wasn't that long ago. I mean, less than 10 years ago.
Well, like I say, they've been looking for efficiencies. They've been closing facilities. They've been doing things, and it slows it down. Having said that, though, the fact is you still go to your post office, your mailbox every day, and your letters are there.
I agree.
You know, it's still, you know, it's one of those services you love to complain about, but it always seems to work.